This is the Nomadic Traveler Podcast. Welcome to the Nomadic Traveler Podcast. I am your host, Jason.
And your co-host, Nicole.
And
we just bought a camper.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
we now have in our possession the new Nomadic Traveler mobile podcast studios.
I know you guys didn't think it was going to happen.
We didn't think it was going to happen.
But we made it.
So it finally happened. So our show today is about picking up the travel trailer.
Which was an adventure.
Yeah, all the things that came along with that, the whole process. We're going to kind of go through everything to kind of, help anybody out there that's never bought a new one to kind of set expectations for the purchasing process, how long things take, what kind of happens throughout the process, little overview of everything.
Yeah, because it's a lot, so be ready.
It is a lot, so it takes a little while. So, all right, let's get started.
Here we go.
So, Nicole, what did you think about the whole process for purchasing the RV?
Oh, I have lots of thoughts. Always do. I think that it was a very long day. Way longer than I expected.
Yeah, I kind of knew what to expect. So I kind of knew it was going to be a little long, but it was even longer than I even expected.
Yeah, I think you told me. You kind of pre-warned me. You're like, okay, take the whole day off.
Yeah.
And
she's like, can I maybe go on my lunch break? I'm like, no, you absolutely cannot go on your lunch break.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, it'll probably take, maybe 3-4 hours. Next thing I know, it's 9 p.m. and I'm like, did I eat today? But it was cool. It was very informative.
It was good,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So we picked up the camper, took it over there, showed up. They immediately took our keys from us as soon as we walked in. So I think they knew that we were there. Like I felt like they had cameras on us in the parking lot. So they're like, Mr. Lawrence, can I have your keys?
Yeah, they were ready for us, huh?
They were ready. So we were very punctual because we walked in there about 1 minute before our appointment time. So
Yeah, which was not the plan. The plan was
no.
to get there early.
Yeah, we wanted to get there about a half hour early, but
Such is life.
yeah, it took a little longer to get everything hooked up and ready to go,
Yeah.
which I had a feeling might happen anyways.
That never happens with us.
That's why, if you have an 11 o'clock appointment, you should always shoot for 10:30 so that way you can walk in 1 minminute prior to your appointment.
They also had our name on the board when we walked in. Well,
They did.
Your name, I guess. I saw it really big.
I saw it really big.
Yeah. So
Did you want it to be your name?
No. Just that they knew we were coming.
They did know we were coming.
Yeah.
Did you see how many people they had scheduled for that day?
I think there was 4, right?
No, I think there was like 6.
Was there?
Yeah,
Dang.
because I was really surprised that they had that many.
Yeah, because it was, a Tuesday?
Yeah, so we scheduled for a Tuesday thinking, it'll be a lot better. They're always booked up for Fridays and Saturdays. So I thought, well, we'll go ahead and do a Tuesday, middle of the week. Maybe we'll be the only people buying our camper that day.
Right. On a Tuesday.
Not so.
No, definitely not.
So
This is the season.
then they took our keys, and then we went and sat down for a little while and waited around. Our salesperson, Charles, came out, chatted us up a little bit. Then he brought out Ryan, right?
Ryan Holcomb. Yes.
Mr. Ryan Holcomb, the finance, let's look. The finance director.
Ooh. Yeah, they don't waste any time getting straight to that part of it.
Yeah. So we talked with Charles for a little bit. Ryan came out. We went back in the room. We started talking to Ryan about our whole contract. He started walking us through the whole process. I made sure that I asked an obscene amount of questions.
Yes, which was good, though, because I wanted to ask a lot.
I asked questions about every single little thing because I want to know what I'm getting myself into, and I don't want to come back later and regret anything. So I've been around the block a couple times, so
Yeah.
I know what's happening.
Yeah, and he was really straightforward with us. I
He
feel
was pretty
like.
good. Yeah, yeah. We really did like him a lot. So, and we told him about the podcast.
Yeah, and he had a lot of good ideas too.
He had good ideas, and he said that he wanted to come on the podcast. So, I think we're going to do a podcast about RV finance,
Mm-hmm.
how to get financed, what to do to try to improve your credit,
Yeah.
terms, length of terms, the amount of, finance ratio. What was it?
The other one.
Simple interest is what he called it, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So essentially, when you finance it, it's just like a house. You're paying all of your interest payments up front. So it's front loaded where you're paying all of your interest at first. So you're better off if you're going to try to make extra payments to make your extra payments up front, because then at least you're applying something to principal, as opposed to trying to do it on the back end when you're making a double payment, but most of your first payment's already going to principal as well.
Yeah, and he talked about when you do that in the beginning, it not only lowers your interest rate, but it also lowers your term.
It
So
lowers
it's like
the
a
term,
double
yeah, because
whammy.
you're making, yeah. So if you have, let's just round it off. Let's say it's a $300 payment, and you make a $600 payment. Well, now there is now $300 that went completely towards principal, and now you don't have your finance charge for the next month based upon the amount that it would have been. It's based upon the amount that it would have been minus $300.
Yeah.
So you save interest on that as well.
Right.
And I'm sure Ryan could probably explain this much better.
Yeah, he probably does it way better. He also went through a bunch of different banks with us too, and asked us like, this is the bank we went with, but what do you like?
Talked to us about all the different banks and all the different terms and what they had available, and so
Yeah, and I think he talked too about he wants to do a podcast about how to know that you're ready, which I thought that was cool. How to know you're financially ready,
yeah,
which is cool.
he was good. He was sharp. I really liked him a lot.
Yeah, cool guy.
Mr. Ryan Holcomb will be on a podcast near you sometime soon.
And I know when we left him to meet back up with Charles, everyone was commenting about how long we'd been in there and chatting him up with him.
Because I think we were in finance office for like 2 hours.
Which I did not see that happening.
Yeah, because I think we went in at 11:30, and we didn't come out till about 1:30.
Yeah. Well, and I wondered too if some of that was them taking up time, like looking at the camper.
Well, that's what I was
the
wondering. Yeah, the
trade-in.
check-in process. So I don't know. So I feel bad. So if you were after us,
We are very sorry.
and you had to go talk to Ryan in the finance office, and you were sitting out there forever, we're very sorry. So we're not sure who that was, but if you contact us, we'll send you a T-shirt.
So, pro tip: schedule your appointment first of the day.
Schedule your appointment first of the day, yeah. Because then
Yes.
you're making everybody wait for you, not the other way around.
And then we got to go on to the fun part, right?
So then we went out, got in our truck, took our truck over to the other building. They have multiple buildings there. So they have a wash and prep building, they have a parts building, and a repair building, and then they also have the sales building.
Yeah.
So we had to take our camper from the sales building over to the parts building. And we go over there, and you drop the camper over there.
Yep.
So once you get it all dropped, then you go inside and you start all the fun stuff, right?
Yes. We had a little trouble getting ours dropped a little bit for a second, but
Yeah, my truck has an air ride suspension, and I think it makes it difficult for me to drop the trailer off of the truck. So you would have thought that I would have perfected this by now after I've used it over and over and over, but I don't know why. It didn't seem like I had this problem when I first got the other camper, and it seems like as time has gone by, it's gotten worse.
yeah.
And I thought that it was something to do with my hitch setup, but I think the reality is it's just I'm a slow learner.
Yeah. Or, I mean, things are different now. Different.
It's a little different.
Yeah. So, yeah, but then we got to go check out the trailer and inspect it. That was fun.
So then we went inside. The next step was you had to go inside the trailer. So then they take you in the trailer. They got the heat. It was a little chilly out that day. So they got all the lights on. They got the little fireplace running. They got the radio going in there. They got some country music going. They got the heater on. Everything's all nice and toasty in there. So it's like you kind of go in there and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a lot different from seeing it like on the lot or at a show or something.
Yeah. So yeah, when we looked out on the lot, it had no power. So the slide outs were out, and we were able to see it with the slide outs out, but it basically had no power, so nothing was happening. So It was very nice. You could see that they got special LED lighting that goes around the TV and underneath the little booth dinette and stuff. So it's kind of nice to be able to like, I don't know. It's not quite what I expected. So
Well, and it felt like it had been not that long since we went and saw it at the lot, but it just felt so different. I was trying to remember everything about it.
it felt
seemed
nicer
different. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wow.
with everything all set up and raring to go. And
Yeah.
so
And I think this is the part where I had a lot of questions.
then yeah, so Nicole asked a lot of questions at that point.
What does this do? What does this hose do? Wait, what?
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about everything. So,
Yeah.
and what'd you say? You didn't like that they?
Yeah, it kind of seemed like the service guy. So there's a service tech that kind of takes you around the outside, tells you all about it, and then takes you inside, tells you all about it. It seemed like he just was focused on Jason. Like, didn't even look my way sometimes when I would ask a question. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Glad I'm
Nicole
here.
wasn't very happy about that.
I mean, he was a nice guy, but I think
Well,
maybe, yeah.
And I said too, I had bought 2 other campers there, so I was a third time around. So they all know that this is my third purchase with them, and they also, I think a lot of them know that generally the guy's the one that does all of the work.
Yeah.
The guy's the one setting stuff up. The guy is the one doing the sewer tank. The guy is the one, because what'd you say? I'm never touching that.
Oh, yeah, but the sewers was like, that won't be me.
I think that's what most of the ladies say. They're like, oh, he's doing all that. I'm never doing anything with the poop tank.
But I did want to learn about, like, the auto leveling and, like, the do's and don'ts. Like, I don't want to ever screw it up, so I do want to be knowledgeable about everything.
So my advice is if you feel like you're being overlooked, ladies, I would speak up. I would say, hey, I plan on doing every bit as much of this as he does. I want to know how everything works.
Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea.
I wouldn't hesitate. I'd be like, this is as much my purchase as it is his, and I want to know, how to do everything. So
Yeah, I kind of also felt like you can show me too, and maybe that would be more helpful for me, but yeah.
well, and I think that's
Agree.
what they're thinking too. Like if she wants to know anything, the guy will explain it to her. But
Yeah.
that is a little rude.
But also the auto leveling thing, I know that that's something new to them, so he seemed like he was like, I can't even really show you. You're going to have to play around with it.
Cool, because he didn't really show me much about it either. So I honestly didn't feel super comfortable leaving there with the auto level.
Yeah. But I think you did a good job.
It took about once we got to where we were going, it took me about 20 minutes or so to figure it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
Yep. But it was fun going in the camper and discovering new things that we didn't know and
Yeah.
getting to play with all the music and the TV.
Yeah. They had the antenna all set up, and it was getting over-the-air television, and the picture was great.
Yeah, I thought it was like maybe a movie or something at first.
Yeah, the picture looked really good. I was really impressed with that. So it's got a, what was the TV? The antenna something jack?
Oh, what is the name of that?
RV jack?
I think so.
No, keep talking and all.
But
I'll
yeah.
look it up.
So not only did he just kind of like show us things, but he told us kind of some do's and don'ts. He was showing us the stove, and he was saying like, I guess he used to be a fireman.
Yeah.
And
King Jack. It's called a King Jack.
Okay. Yeah, and he was saying like basically when you light the stove, you need to make sure that you're not leaving it on. Right? Is that what he said?
Yeah, well, because it's got a pilot, and it's got an electric ignition. So you used to have to turn your pilot light on, light the pilot, and the pilot would stay on all the time. So his concern is if you left your oven closed and you turned it to pilot and you didn't spark it, then you would be letting gas into there, and over time, your oven would fill up with gas, even though it's only a small amount. Because he said, it used to be if the pilot light wasn't lit, the thermocouple wouldn't be satisfied, and it wouldn't send gas into there at all. You wouldn't get any gas at all.
Yeah.
But now, because they have the electronic spark ignition, you don't get away with that. But it's nicer in a sense because you don't have to get out your lighter, and you don't have to get down there and physically light it with a lighter yourself. You can use the same sparker that ignites the stovetop to ignite the oven as well. So
Yeah.
it is a pretty nice setup.
And it's nice that he explained that to us so that we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, cool guy. And I think after that, didn't we kind of inspect the camper?
Yeah, then the next step is the checklist. So they go through the whole checklist. They give you a whole breakdown of everything in the camper, and you're supposed to go through and check off all the different areas and make sure they meet your satisfaction, right?
Yeah, it reminded me of when you rent a car.
Kind
and
of,
you
yeah.
have to, and it gives you anxiety because you're like, oh, I can't miss anything.
Yeah.
I can't miss anything.
So for the most part, everything was good. We found a couple little things. They came out and fixed them. There was a little black mark on our shower stall, like the wall, that they couldn't get off. So we just ended up accepting it the way it was. So,
and I think he said that when we come back, if in the next little bit, if there's any major thing that we find.
And then there is a 90-day inspection. So after that, we get our 90-day inspection. They go through and tweak anything and fix anything that's an issue. And that's what? Well, I guess it's 90 days, but
Yeah.
it's the next step for us. So we will do that next. And then there's also a 10-month inspection or so.
Oh.
So you do your 90-day, then you use it for a little while. So you use it for a little while, do your 90-day inspection, use it for a little while, do your 10-month inspection, and then basically after that, your 1-year warranty is up.
And
So
that's it.
anything after that, you would kind of be on your own unless you have an extended warranty.
Yeah. This part, I think, is when it started to feel real that we were getting the camper.
Yeah.
I think before that, I was like, okay, we'll sign these papers. And
You
then
feel the gravity of it.
you're like, oh, shoot, this is an investment that I had to watch out for, be careful with. We did get the extended warranty, right?
We got
We got a
warranty.
decent one, yeah. I think that's something definitely to factor in and think about before you go.
It's an additional cost, but I think on something like that, it's worth it. We got the auto leveling, you got slide outs. There's a lot to them. Mm-hmm. It's not just a tin can on wheels.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong.
So, and I think I said this in one of the other podcasts, but if you took your home and put it on wheels and then drug it down the road at 70 miles an hour, you would expect it to have some problems. So,
and read any reviews online, and you'll see that you definitely need a warranty.
there's always all kinds of little things going wrong. So,
Yeah, so that was a fun realization that this is happening.
this is happening now.
This is real. Just got real. But then the next part was my favorite.
What was the next part?
So once we did all the inspections, they had to take that trailer and line it up with the trade-in order to transfer our stuff. So while they were doing that, we got to go to the store.
The store.
The camping store.
The camping store, yeah. So, they have a guy, what's his name? Sean? Is that
I
what
think
his name?
so. I think it was Sean.
So Sean took us for a tour of the store and starts running through everything. He's like, have you had one before? And I was like, I've had one before. So I kind of have a little bit of everything. So he's like, okay, well, I'll kind of hit the high points, So we did get, our first purchase was,
The Viper.
oh, well, we did get it. Yeah, we did get
Yeah.
a new sewer hose because my sewer hose is worn out. So, yeah, I was thinking we didn't get the sewer hose, but actually we did get a sewer hose.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I was thinking the first purchase was toilet paper.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right. It was.
So,
We actually did look at that before.
yeah, you got to get special RV toilet paper. So you cannot use regular down the toilet paper. The regular toilet paper that you buy every day in like Walmart or whatever has too much cotton in it. So
Yeah.
RV toilet paper has less cotton in it, so it breaks down faster, and you can whoosh it out of your tank.
A lot of whooshing and swooshing.
Whooshing and swooshing.
That was kind of eye-opening for me because I'm a toilet paper fiend. So
Toilet paper aficionado.
that's exactly what they call me. So I was kind of taken back by the fact that you can't use a lot of toilet paper.
No teepee for you.
I gotta adjust there. But yeah, that was our first purchase. You're right.
So you can use TP, but you don't want to be using an overly large amount. So, because everything
Yes.
that goes in the tank needs to get whooshed down your drain. So, because
Yeah.
everything, it's just like a great big giant tank that's got a low point in it, then everything goes out of it. So, whenever you guys are using your RV tanks, your black tanks, you want to make sure that as soon as you drain your tank, you put water in there and a little bit of the chemical, the special chemical that helps break down the poo, that helps deodorize the tank, helps break down the toilet paper, and you want to use your tank until it's basically as full as possible. So if you're like ready to leave your campground and your tank is not completely full, then you want to run water and fill that thing up as much as possible and get it as full of water as possible. So then when you either go up to your dump station or you dump it at your campsite, if you have sewer at your campsite, you're washing everything out of there. So you want to get the largest volume of water possible, so that way it effectively evacuates everything out of there.
That's cool to know. So you just like take buckets of water and
No, you
dump
can just
it in
run
there?
your tank. You can just like hold your tank down, or else
Hold it in there.
if you have a camper like ours, it has jets in there. So that
Yeah.
would be where you hook up your jets. You let your jets kind of run for a little bit, and you fill your tank up. You can always open up your flap on your toilet, and you can look straight down. You can see kind of how high your water is.
Uh-huh.
So, and then you can also use your lights on your control panel.
Just don't flood your camper.
So yeah, just don't control your
Just
camper.
pay attention.
Especially if you actually have poo in there, you definitely don't want to flood it then. So, but you want to. So if it's only a quarter full and you're getting ready to leave your campsite, you want to make sure that you fill it up to almost full, and then swoosh everything out of there.
Swoosh it and whoosh it.
Swoosh it.
And then the next purchase, I think, was my favorite that we got.
What's that?
The oxidizing, I think that's what he called it.
Oh yeah.
The oxidizing shower head.
Oxygenating. Shower head.
Oxygenating. Oh gosh, yes.
So she got a special shower head because Nicole's got lots of hair. And she's gonna have something that's gonna be fancy for her hair.
Because I had previously read that you can't. The water pressure is not very hard.
It depends. So
Well,
some campgrounds it's
yeah.
like incredibly hard. Some campgrounds it's not. The problem is the higher your pressure is, the more water you put out, and the faster you fill your tank up.
Yeah. So this shower head puts oxygen into the line, and so it makes it feel like you're getting
It's
a lot
supposed
more.
to trick you
Yeah.
to make you feel like you're getting air and water together, so it gives it a stronger stream, but you're really only using the same amount of water.
Yeah. So that was definitely, I put that straight in the cart.
So so it should help push all that shampoo out of the long hair of the
Lovely
ladies.
locks.
The lovely locks of the ladies.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's something I didn't think about.
What's that?
What about hair in the drain of the RV?
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to keep your hair out of there.
What happens to that? Does it?
It's
could
all
it
gonna
clog all
sit in
the?
the tank. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
I mean, just like a normal drain, I guess. But
yeah, only your normal drain drains into city sewers and stuff like that, so
That's
that's
a
not
little
as
better.
big a deal. I mean, if it's sitting in a big giant tank down there, you don't want it to be building up and having hair building up in your tank down there, because you got your big giant valves that dump all the water out of there on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And if your big giant valves on the bottom get hair or anything clogged up in them, they're not going to open and close right. They're not going to seal properly when you close that. You want that holding back all of the goodies.
yeah. Okay. So ladies out there, if you have any good tricks, I know they make those little hair catchers.
That would be my suggestion, is to get a hair catch. But if anybody has any home remedies or anything like that, please share it with us. Nomadic Traveler Podcast at gmail.com. We definitely want to know about it.
I definitely am gonna need that because I shed like a dog
We're definitely gonna have to figure something out. So.
for sure.
Or if anybody's ever had any problems with clogging up their black or gray tanks, we'd love to know about that too. So
Yep. Knowledge is power.
we're all here to learn.
Yes. So that was a fun little thing we got.
So what was next?
I think the next thing that we got was the water purifier.
We did get a water purifier, yeah. So I was telling Nicole about the crappy campground water.
Yeah. I was trying to be a little cheap and not get it.
So I have I have a pressure regulator already. So we did not get a pressure regulator, but you need to run a pressure regulator to keep your water pressure from getting too high. If your water pressure gets too high, you can break lines inside your camper from your pressure being too high. Often, especially like during the summertime when you got, 60 sites all together or something like that, they got to push their water pressure really high. So the person that's at the front of the campground gets the same pressure as the person that's at the back of the campground. So if you're at the front of the campground, but you never know where you are in their system, you might be getting, 100 PSI versus somebody in the back that's getting 50 or 60. So you don't want more than, about 50 or 60 going through your camper.
Is that like an adjustable thing? Like you have to adjust it, or you just put it on there and it regulates it?
Mine is adjustable, but it's basically just kind of set at 60. So it won't let more than 60 go through the
Okay.
camper.
Cool. So it's not something you have to constantly fiddle with.
Correct. So you can put that in line. That keeps your pressure good, and then you also can get these inline filters, which we got inline filter that's gonna filter all of the nastiness out of the water. I've had campground water where it comes out, it's kind of tan or brown.
Ooh.
When it kind of comes out a little bit. So a lot of times they're well water. A lot of times, it's not like they're softening their water. They don't run it through any kind of filter before it goes through the campground. So the water's okay, but it's not special by any means, and they're not doing anything to purify it.
Yeah, we drink a lot of water, so
Yeah. So,
I think that was a good buy.
and we also want to be able to bring the dog with us and stuff like that. And the kids drink a lot of water.
Yeah, that's very true.
And making ice with our little ice maker and all
Yeah,
that kind of fun stuff.
that's my favorite thing. I can't wait to use that.
The ice maker.
Bring all the friends over and have ice.
No doubt. What was next?
The next thing that we got was the surge protector.
So I had a 30
yeah.
amp surge protector before for my other camper, but because we upped it to 50 amps on this camper, I had to get a different surge protector.
And for people who don't really know, like, because I didn't know, like, what is that and why? Why do we need that?
The surge protector is, first of all, super salty. It's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
They're way more expensive than I expected. And so they give you 15% off at the campground or at the camp store before you leave. And
Yeah, because I remember he said, you get 15% off. I said, 50% off? We're getting everything.
he's like, no, 15. He's like,
said,
I know it sounds similar, but it's not.
But he did let us look it up on Amazon.
He did let us look it up on Amazon.
Yeah.
So there was a couple things that we were able to get them to price match us on Amazon, and we were able to beat their prices there. But generally, their store prices minus the 15% is essentially the same price as what Amazon is selling it for.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, you guys have checked this, haven't you? He's like, yeah, we shop Amazon often.
Yeah, because that surge protector was, a few hundred.
It was about $400.
Yeah. I think it was like $390 something. Or...
So I think we were able to get it for like $324 or something like that with the discount. So I mean, it helped, but it was super salty. So, and what that would do is if there was a lightning strike anywhere on the campground, it would keep the lightning from frying all the wiring in your camper. And then the one that we have also helps with like brownouts. And brownouts are when you get all the campers in the campground, 4th of July, everybody's running all their air conditioning and their microwaves and all their goodies and their water heaters, and it's pulling an enormous amount of juice for the whole entire campground. If your voltage gets too low, it'll cut it off for you. So it keeps you from damaging your equipment by running too low of voltage on your appliances.
Interesting. There's so many intricate little things.
Yeah.
So
So everything requires like 120 volts, but if you were only running, 100 volts or something like that, you could damage stuff.
Have you always had a surge protector on every one of yours?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, didn't Charles tell us that he never had one? Isn't that
Yeah,
what
he was. I think when we went to the store the first time we came, he was like, "You don't need one of those. I've never had one. I've never had lightning strike anywhere." But I was a little.
I'm more worried about it for like the brownout and stuff like that too. That's the things that I'm way worried about, because you get old campgrounds with old wiring where everything, like when the campground was originally built in the 50s, it was designed for a handful of campers running on 30 amps.
Yeah.
Now everybody's running 50 amps, and then you even got like tent campers that are running 110 volt plugs, and they're running like little air conditioners in their campers or in their tents and crap like that, so everybody's using power, so the demand is much higher, but the campground wasn't really ever retrofitted for the higher voltage, so brownouts are a pretty common occurrence.
Well, and I think even though it's a couple $100 in the grand scheme of what you pay for a trailer, I'd rather pay a couple $100
I think
front.
with what you pay, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, and then not have my camper break down.
Yeah, why would you want to have something damaged? I mean, that would be horrible.
Yeah, so I think that was. I don't remember what we got. What else did we get after that?
So I was trying to think of what else we got.
I know we got so we got some covers for the AC vent.
Yeah, so we got upgraded fans. So we upgraded the fans. You get the little dinky fans when you buy the camper. We got the upgraded fans. And then we got Max Air, which if you go back to, what was that, episode 1?
Yes.
We talk about Max Air on episode 1. So we did get Max Air fans and Max Air vent covers. So the fan is still installed inside the camper, but it's got a big giant cover that goes up there. So when you open everything up, everything is completely enclosed inside a cover, so you can run your fan all the time, whether it's pouring down rain or not.
Yes.
So you can always ventilate your camper, which is always nice.
But also suggestion not to leave it open if you're not there.
No, we don't. I don't. At least I don't. I don't know if you leave your fan open when you were gone. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to know if that's what people actually do. Because I close mine up because I'm still afraid that a squirrel or a mouse or something like that's going to get on the top of the camper, come through the vent cover, come into the vent, and you can get down in the camper, and then you got a whole problem.
Yeah.
So I would love to know if people actually just leave their fan covers open all the time, even when they're not at the campground, if they're running seasonal camping like we are.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
I don't want any squirrels.
No squirrels.
No squirrels hiding nuts in my
I was
bed.
going to say no nuts.
Yeah, and then I think after that we kind of.
We got the covers for the heater.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
we
water
did.
Heater.
Yeah.
So they got special, I call them mud dauber covers. I don't know what they are, but wasps love to build nests inside the heaters, and they love to build nests inside like the water heater areas. So you get these little fine mesh screens that go on there, and we did get a couple of those. So I left the ones that I had on the other one on my old camper.
And didn't Sean come help us put them on too?
And Sean actually came out and put them on for us. So
Shout out to Sean.
That was awful nice of him. So what else? Was there anything else? I'm trying to think.
Well, there was
We
a big
looked at-
thing.
We did look at the solar kit.
We did. That was really cool.
So we looked at the briefcase solar. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the briefcase solar. The briefcase solar is, basically a solar setup that you just kind of open up like a briefcase and you set it outside your camper. A lot of campers now have special hookups for 12-volt solar. So you can open up your briefcase, set it down outside, face it towards the sun, plug it into your camper, and it'll keep your battery charged up. So then if you want to run your Max Air fans or your refrigerators or anything like that, your lights, everything, it keeps your battery charged up so you can run all your stuff if you are boondocking.
Yeah.
What is boondocking, Nicole?
Boondocking is when you stay somewhere at a campground or you stay just like anywhere without power or any type of water, any hookups or anything.
It's
You're
when
just
you camp with no hookups. Correct.
you're just hanging out,
Correct.
which is awesome because imagine all the things you can see doing that.
So there's a lot of different campgrounds out there that you can boondock at. So
I think
such as Goosenecks.
Yeah, I was just about to say, and I thought it was going to be way more expensive. I think he quoted it about $700 for that little.
The one that we looked at was $700,
Power-
which would probably be adequate enough to keep the battery charged up. I mean, we're not going to be doing anything fancy, but it's going to allow you to run, all of your basic stuff. And you could run a water pump inside if you want to be able to run, water on side using your interior freshwater tanks, all of your fans, all of your lighting.
Yeah. Well, and also thinking too about, if you got a seasonal spot and you're paying monthly electric bill, couldn't you use that as well just to save money?
You could, yeah.
Yeah. Plug it in and use it. And then if it ran out, then you could just plug in, but
Yeah.
save money on your electric bill monthly.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
You'd have to
So-
save yourself a whole lot of money, though, to justify $700.
Well, over time, over 20 years.
Over 20 years, yeah. You might be able to save enough to get you that $700 back.
I don't know. I guess I like the idea of solar panels. I've always wanted some, so.
It is nice. It is efficient. So I do like the idea of that as well. I agree.
Yeah. Future forward. Save the planet.
And what else?
We also got a big item. Do you remember what that big item is?
The big item. What's the big? Well, we didn't get the bike rack. I know we didn't get that.
Yeah, we didn't. I was very sad about that.
So we looked at a bike rack. They have front-mounted bike racks that go that mount on either side of your jack for your tongue jack. But ours has the auto leveling, so the lid flips open. So the way the thing mounted on there, it had bars that ran up either side of it, and we would never be able to open our lid. So we could not get the bike rack.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to throw the bikes in the back of the truck when we go.
Yeah, not that big a deal.
No, not at all.
But we debated, so we went up to the counter, and there were a few things we needed, but they didn't have, like the sheets, What else? There was
I was
something.
really surprised they didn't have any sheets.
Yeah.
That
Well, they
blew my
had some
mind.
queen, didn't they? Some
They
on
had
the
queen sheets, but they didn't have any king sheets. And
Yeah.
then, of course, you need an RV king sheets,
right. Yeah, which is why we wanted to get them there because it's hard to get them anywhere else.
which is a skinny king.
Yeah. So, but they didn't have them there, so we were looking through the catalog. There was something else that they didn't have.
Mattress topper.
Mattress toppers. That's what it was.
So we looked at mattress toppers.
Yeah.
They did not have mattresses or mattress toppers.
And then we debated when we were up there looking at the magazine about whether we wanted to get like slide covers or
Slide covers are
encasement.
really
Yeah.
expensive too, yeah. Slide
That was-
covers are ridiculous.
way more than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the slide covers are little like awnings for your slide. So when you roll your slide out, nothing can get on your slide. So when you roll your slide back in, your slide comes basically inside the camper. So there's like little sweeps on there that keep everything out when you roll your slides in and out. And if you had like a bunch of leaves or some twigs or sticks or stuff like that up on top of your camper that had fallen while you were somewhere, when you went to roll that in, it would all goof up your sweeps and cause you not to be able to adequately close your awnings.
yeah.
So not awnings,
Slide
slide
outs.
outs, yes. So the slide out topper, it creates a little space in there that actually creates a little shade space too. So if you're out in the sun, you have, a 3-inch space there where you don't have sun beating down on your slide out, it's beating down on your cover. And then it creates an air barrier where you're not absorbing that heat into the camper, it's absorbing into the top. So, and then when they roll up, they roll outwards. So when you put that slide in, it rolls outwards. Any leaves that were on top of it would dump off the outside of the camper. And it also keeps, rainwater and everything off of your slides. So it's a nice thing to have, but it's definitely not a necessity. And at around $2,000 or so, it was out of our budget.
That, and they said, their service time to install those is pretty
their
backed
service
up right
time to
now.
install was outrageous.
Yeah. So we went with the RV cover.
We did do the RV
Yeah.
cover. So we ended up getting an RV cover just so we can button everything up and keep everything all under wraps in the wintertime.
Yeah. And I think we got a really good deal on that. So
So that was a major, So we got 20% off on that. So that was a pretty big discount. So
Yeah.
we shopped that around on our phones while we were there and found out that it was, cheaper than we can get anywhere else. So
But something that was funny was I noticed there was another family that came in as we were still shopping, and they were like, "Oh, is this your first time?" And they're like, "Yeah." And so I thought, "Oh, they're gonna get suckered. They're gonna buy everything." And
they're going to get sold out.
they come up next to us at the register. We have a whole cart full, and they have one thing.
They had one thing. What, they get a sewer hose?
Yeah, one sewer hose, one Viper.
Because they probably think, oh, we'll buy this stuff cheaper later, and then it really turns out that you're not buying it any
Right.
cheaper.
I just didn't realize all the things that you need for a camper. Would have never known all these things.
Well, the one thing that I found extremely amazing about the whole process is they literally every hour have somebody scheduled that's rolling through that whole process. So they got every hour someone's going through finance, every hour someone's going through the inspection process, every hour someone's going through the store. So it's just like it's an assembly line. They were just bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
one after another. So
But you know what I did love about
we were super slow, by the way.
we on every aspect we were slow.
We had people behind us at every step of the stage or every step of the process. Each stage we would have people that were like in line behind us.
I like to say thorough.
Because
and not
that was
slow.
what the guy said when we got over there with the camper. He goes, "This was supposed to be at 11:30. Why are you guys over here at 1:30?" Sorry.
I just think we're thorough.
So,
We care.
We're thorough about everything. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that they weren't pushy though.
They weren't very
if
pushy
we
about
said,
anything.
we don't really want that right now, they're like, okay, let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Especially
and-
Sean. Sean was good.
Yeah, I didn't think he needed to be pushy at all.
No.
Because a lot of that you just gotta get.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you gotta have it. You want to take a crap, you gotta get a hose.
You gotta get a hose unless you want to just leave it in the tank forever.
Make that nastiness.
So,
Yeah.
what
so,
was next? What was next?
What else? Oh, so next we had to go to the service part to schedule for our 90 days.
Yeah, so we scheduled our 90-day
Yeah.
inspection, all that kind of stuff after that.
Yeah. So that was.
And then we talked about trying to use our 2 free nights at the campground that come, but we're taking our camper to a seasonal spot, so we're just going to wait until we have to go back for the 90-day check-in, and then we're going to use our 2 free days up then. And so we'll, like, say Friday, go do our 90-day check-in, and then camp Saturday and Sunday, and use up our free days. And then if we ever run into anything, I mean, I think the theory in that is really good, because you go pick up on a Friday, you stay Saturday and Sunday. If you run into any bugs or any problems with your camper, they're right there. They can send a service guy by. You can ride by on a golf cart, take care of any of your issues. You don't have to drag anything anywhere.
Yeah.
But all their Fridays and Saturdays are all completely booked, so which is why we did a Tuesday.
And I think that's one thing that I learned at the service department that I didn't know about RVs, is that you can get service to come out to your campsite. I thought that was wonderful. Now, is that everybody or that's just them, Jason?
Well, so you got to pay for a mobile campground technician. So you got to find a mobile tech.
Okay.
So I had a problem with my air conditioning, like in Florida, and we had all of our stuff in there. We had, all the slide outs are all there. We had stuff outside our camper. We had bikes and crap. I mean, it wasn't, we were living out of it. It was not a situation where it was easy for us to just pack everything up and then take it up to a shop and then leave it somewhere. And then on top of the fact that we're also living out of it. So it's like, okay, if they have it for a couple of days and they're doing service on it, where the hell are we supposed to go? We're staying in a hotel somewhere or something. So we've already prepaid for our campground. You're already paying for your camper.
Right.
So, so we had a guy come out and look at our air conditioning in Florida, and he was a mobile tech. He actually drove a Hummer, which I thought was a weird service vehicle for a mobile RV tech. But
maybe it's to get around on the gravel roads or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
He could have had a truck.
Maybe he's making that baller money.
Hey, that's our next job.
Ripping your head off my camper service.
No, but I thought
I'll tell you what. The interesting story about him is he did service in like the New England area in the summertime, and then he went down to Florida, so he would travel back and forth.
Oh,
and he did 2 different areas.
That's cool.
So so he was getting ready to go. It was like springtime, and most people had already left. I think it was like June or something when we were in Florida. It was getting ready to go into summer, and we kept trying to call these mobile techs, and none of them were there because that's what all of them do. So they all do it up north in the summertime, down south in the wintertime, and they had already all gone back. And he was getting ready to go back the next week or two, and he was getting ready to go back up north, and he was literally the only one who could get a hold of.
Wow. See, I thought the way that Ryan explained it was that, like, the plan that, maybe it's just the plan that we got, that was included. They weren't going to make you pay for the service charge of them coming out, right?
Yeah, with the extended warranty, normally they would not pay for that. So if you had a mobile service tech come out, it would be a premium charge. So you'd pay an extra $150 on top of what your regular service call would be to be able to have them come out and service your RV in place and not have to take it to them. And before, they would not pay that extra $150. So whatever their service fee to come out there to fix that was on you, and then they would pay for whatever the fee was to fix the air conditioning, but they weren't going to pay your location fee. Now, the extended warranties will pay your location fee, so you do not have to hook it up to your truck, drag it up to the campground, deal with all that crap, because there's so many different people that do live out of them. Full-timers in Florida, seasonal people in Florida, that's your home. I mean, what do you.
And even if you're not full-time, like, the whole point, well, to me, one of the major points of getting a camper is to spend more time with your family and the people that you love. So if you're trying to do that and you're wasting your time, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely don't want to do that. So that was cool to learn about.
Totally agree, yeah.
Didn't know that was a thing.
So, no, that is definitely nice that they cover, on location service calls like that. So, and they can do almost anything there. I mean, if you had like a slide out repair or something like that, then you probably need to take it to a dealership. But for the most part, they can install a refrigerator there on the fly. They can install an air conditioner there on the fly. They can do a lot of this stuff, and they don't need any specialized equipment there. So if you had to do a slide out repair or something like that, and they had to pull your slide out, I think they need to use a forklift to pull your slide out. And I don't think they could do stuff like that. But I would say 80% of the repairs can probably be done.
They can do it?
On the
That's
spot.
amazing. Yeah. And I think at this point, so we got there, what did we say, at 11, right?
Yeah.
So I think this point, what time was it, like 4?
4 or something like that, yeah. So then we had to go outside and start the transfer.
Yes.
So they put our RVs right next to each other, and they had them all back to back. So you got door to door. So you're just like moving everything from one to the next. But that process took a lot longer than I thought it was.
Yeah.
So, and we even went through and took some stuff out of it ahead of time, but we did not take enough out. So I highly recommend that you box up all your stuff in totes, and you really just move everything out of it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Or at least have everything just sitting in it in totes, so you're just moving big giant totes, because all that free stuff is a pain in the butt. You know, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal until you're there. I mean, it's basically like a vacation home.
Yeah, and
you
you've
got
been there.
all the things that a vacation home would have. You know, the plates, dishes, silverware, clothing, all those different things, and it's like moving.
Yeah, and you've already been at the place all day long because we had already been there 5 hours at that
so
point.
by the time that rolled around, so we started that probably at 4.
Yeah,
we didn't get finished transferring everything till what, 6:30 or something?
I think so. Yeah, it's closer to 7 by the time we
6:30
left.
or 7 o'clock. Yeah, so I mean, they literally closed at 5. So we were literally the only people there. Everybody left, and we're still there trying to transfer all our crap.
Yes, it was insane.
Yeah, so we were way off.
Yeah. So that, or bring more people to help.
Bring some other people to help. I mean, I would
definitely box. Because the other thing was hard about it too was we knew that we were going to get ready to take off, and so after we moved it all, we had to make sure that it was all stable. You can't really have anything out.
Yeah, you can't just throw a bunch of crap in there and be like, okay, later. You know, all your stuff's going to be sliding all over the place when you're traveling down the road.
Yeah, because we had a little mishap with the fire extinguisher. Almost.
Yeah.
A bad mishap.
We stuck a fire extinguisher in the cabinet, and it was an upper cabinet, and the fire extinguisher slid out of the cabinet, busted the safety pin, but did not set the fire extinguisher off.
Yes.
But that very easily could have been fire extinguisher powder all over a brand new camper.
That would have been
when we showed up at our site.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it was long.
That could have been horrible. So thank God. I have no idea how the safety pin busted, but yet it still did not go off. We are exceptionally lucky with that.
Yes. So it was adventurous.
So yeah. So then we finished everything up, and then we took off.
Yeah.
Then we had to say bye to the old camper. Bye, camper.
Yeah, Jason, how did you feel moving on to, what is this, your 4th, right?
Well, yeah, it's my
your
4th
camper.
travel trailer. Yeah, 3rd one from the same location. So, I mean, it's fun. You know, I mean, it's a little sad because I've had that thing for a long time. So, it's not like.
Yeah.
It's not like it's new, or it's not like it's something I've used once or twice or something like that. It's like, you know, get rid of a friend. And then you think about all the little trips that you've taken into and all the places
memories.
that you've been, and you know, I don't know.
There's an attachment.
It's definitely, more of an attachment than I had expected. I really thought I'd be like, yep, whatever, peace out. I'm out of here.
I'm pretty sure I saw some tears.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Absolutely not.
I'm just kidding.
No, not that bad. But
I was waiting for them. I had some tissues ready.
Whatever.
I'm just kidding. There were no tears.
I did feel a little weird though. It was. I felt a little bit more emotions about it than I would have expected. I thought I would have been like, whatever.
Well, you lived in that one too.
Gotta be rid of this piece of junk, you know. So, no, actually, it wasn't that bad.
You lived in that one though for a while, so it was.
I lived in that thing 2 different times. So yeah. So it
it's
was
not
my
just,
home for 8 months in Florida, and then I used it for a couple of months when I moved back to Indiana. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So I lived in that thing for over a year worth of time.
Yeah.
So yeah. So out of the 5 years that I had it, I spent a whole entire year inside of it. So 20% of 5 years was spent inside that thing.
Right.
That's not including any of the other campgrounds, any of the other.
Wow.
You know, that's not including when I evacuated for Hurricane Irma.
Yes.
So, because I got that because we had Hurricane Irma come through in Florida, and I had to take that thing basically all the way up to Atlanta to escape the path of the hurricane. So that was a whole process. So there was that, you know, the whole process moving to Florida, the whole process moving back, all the different campgrounds that I've been to. I've taken it to Disney multiple different times, taken it to Key West, Key Largo, Miami, you know, so.
Welcome to Miami.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad you got that.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a lot to it, you know, a lot more than I would have thought.
Yeah, then we had, like a 2-hour drive almost back to our spot.
To our spot, yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have a seasonal spot. We have a spot where it's set up.
Yep.
And we can kind of leave it, and then we can go use it for other trips as we need, but then at least it's got a home. It's got a home base with power.
Yeah.
And you can leave the refrigerator going and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10.
14.
Dang. 10 being the worst. How bad was our backing in communication?
14.
14? I don't believe that.
No, backing in wasn't too bad, but our
You did
spot
really good.
at our seasonal spot is a very awkward angle, and it has some very large trees that we have to get around to get into our spot. It was a little rough, but
Yeah, I was really nervous because we had to move a picnic table.
in
Right.
the neighbor's spot completely across the way, yeah.
Luckily, no one's there right now, so
Yeah, no one's there right now. But
we were able to do that. But I was just like, gosh, I have no clue what I'm doing. I've never done this before.
it wasn't really any of this. The parking stuff wasn't really your fault. It was just kind of
Yeah, just what it is.
the way, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an awkward spot, and I don't
Yeah.
think it's really designed to have one that long in it.
Well, and
Maybe
I thought,
a 30-footer or something, but ours is close to 38-foot or something.
Yeah.
So
it was the last spot left there, so they were probably
it
just
was the
like,
last spot left. It
take
was the
it.
last spot left in Indiana. So
right? We called everywhere.
we couldn't find anything anywhere.
Yeah, but we thought the backup camera was gonna help.
It does have
Right?
a backup camera. We did spring for backup camera. It does help, and it's nice that I can see the tree if I'm going to slam into a tree or something like that, but it's not... It wasn't quite as beneficial as I thought it would be. I thought it'd just make everything like cake. Like, oh, I don't even
Yeah.
need a second person. No, you still need a second person.
That's what I thought. I thought, I'll just sit at the picnic table. He
I'll
doesn't
just
need
sit
me.
back here and let him whip that thing in there. And
But yeah, and then I don't have a very loud voice. Well, sounds like I do on this podcast, but I'm like, move it to the left. You're like, why'd you say? But it went pretty well, I think.
So, yeah. So we got it in there. It's in its spot. It's in its little home. So
Yeah.
we got some good trips coming up soon. So we'll knock them out. And
Yeah, I
We're
think
gonna
I
go
wanted
down
to
there.
use it like that night.
yeah.
I
So we
was
are
so
taking
excited.
our kids down there tomorrow, and we're going to let them kind of hang out. And it's supposed to be a very nice day in Indiana tomorrow. So we're excited about that.
Thank God.
So, yeah. So we're going to go down there, let them hang out, pretend we're camping. I don't think we're actually going to camp, even though Liam wants to.
Yeah, we don't still have everything. Oh, we didn't talk about, we did purchase a little mattress too. That's still
Yes,
coming.
we did end up purchasing an upgraded mattress for it because the mattresses that come in RVs are relatively uncomfortable.
Why do you think that they do that?
I just think it's to keep costs down.
It's like a trick.
Yeah. Some of them do have upgraded mattresses.
Do
that
they?
you can get.
Okay.
Yeah, they do sell some of them, but generally they're on the higher end ones, the luxury ones.
Okay, because I'm like,
or
that's a sneaky move.
the Class A's. Yeah, I just think it's to keep weight down and to keep
That makes
costs
sense.
down, so that
Weight.
way they can produce them as cheaply as and efficiently as possible.
I didn't think about weight because I bet that mattress is going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah, so the mattress we're getting is probably roughly double the weight of the mattress that's in there.
Worth it.
So, but yeah, if you can,
We'll just work off some pounds.
if you can't sleep, I mean, how worth it is it? It's like,
Right.
oh, this thing only weighs 4 pounds, but I never get any rest.
But you might well be sleeping on the ground.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to get to try it out.
yep.
Hopefully I won't do anything and mess anything up.
No.
We'll keep that on the DL if it happens. Yeah, so it was a good time.
It was good.
If you guys have any stories about your pickup day, we'd love to hear them too. In general, if you have any good,
Yeah, we'd love to hear some other pickup day stories. So,
yeah, especially from different places. I mean, I'm sure it looks different everywhere.
how did everybody else do? Did anybody else have any nightmares? Did anybody else fly through it in about 2 hours to make us look like a fool? Like, I don't know what took you guys so long. We got ours done in lickety split.
Well, and I want to know if anybody has ever like maybe gotten it and then went straight to the campground. Because I'm thinking, I wonder if that ever happens.
We did that.
You did that? Well, the one that there, yeah. I
So
guess
we went
that
straight
makes
to the
sense.
campground.
Yeah, you guys did. I guess that makes sense.
So, oh, you mean
and
like
then
for the
what-
2-day thing?
Then what was your experience? Yeah, like it'd be
Oh.
cool to hear that.
Well, I was thinking we took it to our seasonal spots.
Oh, we
so-
did. No, I mean like you stayed somewhere like that night,
Oh, yeah.
like a first timer.
I do think there's probably a lot of people that do that.
Pick it
actually.
up.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of people
stay
that do
there, and then you're like, oh, I don't have anything.
that. No, yeah.
I wonder if that ever
Oh,
happens.
crap. I don't have a sewer hose. Oh, crap. I don't have a water hose.
Dig a hole.
I can see that kind of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even have a water hose. We can't even hook our water up.
I'm sure that'll happen the first time we stay. Anyways, there'll be something that you forget.
Oh, there's always something. There's
Yeah.
always little things that come up. That's why I always recommend use that thing a couple different times because you're gonna have a couple bucks to work out.
Yeah.
So.
So we finally got a camper.
Finally got a camper.
Finally got a camper. That's Blue's Clues. If anyone remembers that. Yeah, the
Oh,
tune.
Lord. All right. What else we got coming up?
So we got a good Don't Do That coming up.
Don't do that.
And a hidden gem that is full of fun.
All right.
That's it.
We're going to hit that up now. All right. Now it's time for today's hidden gem. What's today's hidden gem, Nicole?
It's a beautiful place that you're going to love. It's for the tequila connoisseurs of the world out there.
That's me.
It's a place called Machares Hotel de Barracas.
Nice.
And by that, I'm going to let Google go ahead and translate that for us.
Nomadic Hotel de Barracas.
Malich's Hotel de Barracas.
Yes. So it is located in Tequila, Mexico.
Tequila.
So it has its own town called Tequila. And it's a place where you can go and you can stay inside of a barrel shaped like a tequila barrel.
Is it a real tequila barrel?
It is not, sadly enough.
I don't think I could fit in a real tequila barrel.
I mean, you could, but it'd be a struggle. So
I
they're
could wear it like pantalones.
just sleep on the ground after drinking all that tequila.
That's right.
It's a place where you can go and stay in some barrels shaped like tequila barrels. And there's also a distillery there. It's like on the property, so you can go and take a tour.
Nice.
See how the tequila's made.
Yes.
Lots and lots of tastings.
Yum.
Samples.
Yes.
Don't drink 4 ounces at a time.
I will do it.
And then the coolest part is you can design your own tequila bottle. Yeah.
So it can say Nomadic Traveler Podcast Tequila.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
all about that. Let's do that.
I'm definitely into that too. I'd probably have a problem not drinking it though, so maybe we should make 2.
Nomadic Traveler Podcast Tequila.
Tequila. And then they also feature a restaurant. It's 15 feet underground inside of a cave.
Nice.
And then they have like dancing and live music.
You can dance the
things like that.
mariachi.
Yeah.
Get some authentic Mexican food.
Marichachas, those little clappy things.
Maracas.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So if you get really drunk, then you can just like roll your way back to your barrel because it's right there. Doesn't that sound amazing?
This sounds absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I could so be down for this.
So it's in the southern part of Mexico. So a little
So
bit
the
away.
town is actually called Tequila, though?
The town is called Tequila, Mexico.
Interesting.
Yes.
I always thought that all the tequila was made in Jalisco, Mexico.
Yes. It might be, but this place has its own distillery.
All the
so-
tequila that I get says made in Jalisco.
Oh, okay. All your special tequila.
On my top shelf tequila.
That's
My
right.
shooting tequila.
So yeah, this is definitely a place to check out. I think it'd be really cool to say that you got to go and stay there. And where you stay is actually an agave field.
Nice.
So they have stuff like all around.
Do they have anything else that you can do there? Or?
Yes, they also do have horseback riding.
Nice.
It's an extra fee. And then they have a biking trail. You can rent bikes too.
Do they have any like tequila making classes?
They don't.
They won't teach you how to make tequila.
They don't, but they should, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely what they should do. I would love to go learn how to make some tequila.
Yes, let's call them up.
I'm in.
All right, tell them the Nomadic Traveler Podcast says.
Does it say what kind of tequila they make it there?
They have a bunch of different types. Yeah, they make all types. That's why they have the tastings, because you can taste all types of yummy tequila.
This is sounding awesome.
Yeah, and then when you wake up in the morning, you can have a tequila sunrise.
Just another tequila sunrise.
So yeah, it sounds like a great place to go.
I'm in. When do you want to go?
Tomorrow. That's always my answer.
Immediately.
Actually, tonight it's what, 1
Immediately.
a.m.?
Let's leave now. When's the next flight? 6 a.m.? Let's go.
We can get there at like 10. Start drinking some tequila.
If you left at 6 a.m., you probably could be there by 10 drinking tequila.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, check it out. It seems like a really cool place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's today's Hidden Gem. All right. Now it's time for today's Don't Do That.
Don't even think about it.
And today's Don't Do That is brought to you by, well, I guess nobody.
Just something not to do.
It's just a good tip, yeah. So, you don't want to leave your black tank open and let all of your paper and solids go down in your black tank and then let your liquid constantly drain off, especially if you're in a hot environment, say Texas, Florida, something like that. It's going to dry out all of your solids and all of your tissue, and it's going to make like this basically cement brick inside your tank. And they were telling us when we got our camper that if you let that happen and it builds up over time, especially if you were to do it like if say you're on a camping trip for a week, you let everything drain off and then you just let that sit in there and it basically baked in there, it turns into a brick. And he said the only thing that you could do is drop your tank and replace your tank. You literally have to put on a new tank.
So you'd have a poop brick.
So you would have a poop brick.
How might that happen?
How might that happen?
How would you just leave your...
So I think a lot of people think that if they have sewer at their site, they can open up their black valve and then just everything goes through just like your regular old toilet. So you flush your toilet and everything goes out and you don't have to worry about anything. So what happens is like, this is what I was talking about earlier, when you if you're getting ready to leave, you want to fill your tank up as much as possible so you can whoosh everything down your drain. So you don't want to leave your tank open and let all of your liquid waste all drain out and leave all your solids in there, because then you don't have anything to whoosh all of your stuff down the drain. Does that make sense?
So this would have to be something that you just maybe didn't know about. It's not like an accident.
So yeah, it would be like a rookie thing, that if you didn't realize that that's what you needed to do. So as a matter of fact, this happened when we actually moved to Florida with my ex. I went up to Indiana to do some things to get our house ready for sale and to get it, get rid of it and move all of our stuff down to Florida. And when I came back, she had left the black tank open the whole entire time and had been using it and wiping and wiping and wiping. And there was like a little teepee of toilet paper piled up in there. But luckily she had been kind of continuously using it, so everything kind of stayed moist.
Okay.
So when I got back, I had to go get a wand, and you can hook a wand up to a hose, and then basically I had to use a little jet on the end of the hose, and I'd have to stick it down the toilet and kind of break everything up and kind of, I don't know how to put this, but basically bust up all the solids into as small a matter as possible, and then I would let the tank fill up, and I would drain the whole thing really good, and then let it build up again, and I had to just keep doing that over and over and over again. I spent hours trying to break up all the solids and all the toilet paper so it would all finally wash down there.
I bet.
But, if she, had gone, or we had bought a house or something like that, and I didn't realize, and taken it to the house and just let it sit, and all that stuff had the time to bake in there, then it just turns into a big solid lump, and it doesn't matter how much water you put down there. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it with that little jet sprayer.
Yeah.
You're done.
So is it safe to say at that point you were feeling pretty crappy?
Very crappy. You love your puns, don't you?
I know, I had another word, but
yeah,
it's not kid friendly, but yeah, crappy.
So today's hidden gem is don't leave your door open on your black tank, your valve open on your black tank. Do it, use it up. When it's full, whoosh it out. Mm-hmm. That's the word of the day, whoosh.
I think that's what I'm learning. Just like do a lot of whooshing.
Do a lot of whooshing.
And I won't screw anything up.
Because it will be a headache if you don't do it properly.
Yeah, that's good to know.
If you do it right, it's really not that big of a deal. So, everyone's like, oh my gosh, everyone's got, what is it, like Joe Dirt?
Oh,
in the Joe Dirt where he gets all the poop all over him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's got like that image in their head, but it's really not that bad. You hook the hose up, you pull the lever, and it all washes out of there, and it's not as big of a deal as you might think it is. So everyone's like, well, I'm just gonna leave it open and just let it all drain out all the time, and if you don't,
I think of Christmas Vacation.
Or that one too. That's another good one. So
he's putting it in the sewer.
I'm trying to think of any other RV movies. RV with who's got that? Who's in RV? Is it Robin Williams?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that I've seen that one.
It's a good one too. So, but anyways, everybody always acts like the sewer tank is like the end of the world, and it's really not that bad.
All right. That's a good one. Thanks.
And that's today's Don't Do That.
Welcome to our podcast.
There you go. Good job, buddy. What's today's podcast about, Liam?
Sunday.
It's about Sunday.
Yes.
It's,
Tomorrow we're gonna go camping.
tomorrow's Saturday, and we're going to go check out the new camper.
I want to go camping.
You want to go camping?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can stay tomorrow night. I don't know. We're really just kind of setting everything up.
When are we gonna go camping?
When do you want to go?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess I set myself up for that one, didn't I? What do you like about camping?
Having friends and playing in the pool and having fun with Daddy.
Yeah. Is that a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Do you like going to the playground?
Yeah.
Do you like riding your bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your absolute favorite thing to do camping?
Play with Daddy and with my friends.
Okay. Good job, buddy. Well, we'll go down to the camper tomorrow and check it out. And you get to see the camper. Does that sound like fun?
Is it gonna be a bus?
Is it going to be a bus?
No, I mean a big camper.
It's a big camper, but it's
that
not a...
drives.
No, we didn't get a driving kind.
Why?
Because they're kind of expensive.
No, I want a driving kind.
You want a driving kind? You got to talk into the mic, buddy.
I want the driving kind.
Well, that's going to have to come down the road.
I don't care.
You don't care? Do you have money?
You have money.
No. Do you have money?
You have money.
I don't have money for Class A.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I do?
You have 100s of money.
100s of money?
Yes.
How much do you think a bus costs?
200 and 900.
209,000 would probably be pretty close. That's a pretty good guess.
10,000.
10,000? No. A travel trailer costs more than that.
100 and 900 and 600 and 600 and 500 and 700 and 800.
That's the national debt.
That's not. Ah!
All right. Tell everybody bye and you'll come talk to them later.
No. I want to stay here.
No, well, we can't talk to you.
Yes.
Well, you got to let Nicole have her chair back.
No.
What do you mean, Nicole? Or no? Jeez.
Nicole's Drama-rama.
Drama-rama? What do you call Nicole?
Drama-rama. Like a drama.
Well, you call her Muckle.
Drama-rama, not controller.
Oh, okay.
She's for the drink, not eat.
Okay.
La, 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 la.
Okay, we're not going to be able to use that. So, okay. Tell everybody, thank you.
No.
And we'll talk to you later. Say bye-bye.
No.
Say, it was great talking to you.
No.
And I'll be back later. Do you want to have your own podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you want it to be called? Welcome to Liam's podcast called We're live on the podcast. We're going to talk about Oh, my Lord. Okay, say thank you. Say thank you.
Podcast says
Say thank you. It was good talking to everybody. Say thank you. Bye-bye.
No.
Okay, we're going to go.
No.
Okay, bye.
No.